Welcome to a Monday edition of AutoWeek TV. Time to shake off the weekend and fire up the engine for another week of high-octane car fun. Stick around. AutoWeek editorial director Dutch Mandel will be answering your questions today in a new segment we're calling Fast 5. But first, here's what's in the news. Car fans lost one of the giants of the magazine world Sunday with the death of David E. Davis, Jr., longtime editor of Car and Driver and founder of Automobile. Davis, who was 80 years old, had been suffering from bladder cancer. His long career included writing copy for Chevrolet Corvette ads, as well as a stint as advertising director for Competition Press, which evolved into AutoWeek. But it was his writing, colorful and at times acerbic, that inspired a generation of fans and auto journalists, many of them working at AutoWeek and other publications today. AutoWeek editorial director Dutch Mandel said, "He was a man of enormous talent and presence, genteel most often and scythe-like when he had to be." Have you been thinking of putting a Porsche 911 in your garage? Now's a great time to lease one. In a bid to restock the pipeline of the low-mileage used Porsches, the German automaker is running a deal on leases for the 911. Under the program, you can get a 2-year lease on a 911 for just $12.63 a month. That's about the same monthly payment as a 3-year lease. Porsche is also offering to forgive the last 6 months of current 911 leases to get customers to take a new lease. Now, here's a rundown of the winners from last weekend's racing. Turn away from the screen if you don't want to spoil that race still sitting on your DVR. Sebastian Vettel easily won the Formula One race in Australia. Dario Franchitti checkered a crash-filled IndyCar race in St. Petersburg, Florida. Kevin Harvick was happy to use a last-lap pass of Jimmy Johnson to win the NASCAR Sprint Cup race in Fontana, California. And Sebastian Ogier cruised to victory in the Rally of Portugal. You can find full race reports at AutoWeek.com. Okay, it's time for the Fast 5, where associate publisher Dutch Mandel answers the questions you posted on our AutoWeek Twitter page. Take it away, Dutch.
From Milan comes a question about the racing this weekend. I got to tell you that I really did enjoy the IndyCar race. I love seeing Dario Franchitti win a race. He's a favorite of mine, and he also became, along with, oh God, I forget who it was, but he's among the top 10 all-time race winners with 27 wins. The F1 race in Australia, it's going to be a battle royal. It's going to be fun. Sebastian Vettel, the defending champion, showed why he is champion. From Harold comes a question on how long do I think it'll take the Japanese car makers to come back from the natural disaster there. It's not just the Japanese automakers. Every automaker is affected. Why? Because of the supplier chain. It is a global industry, and everyone is affected now. We may have as many as 600,000 vehicles taken out of the overall sales this year as a result of it, and our hearts still go out to the people from Japan. Russell Lee Fleury asks, how expensive does gas have to be for a hybrid to be a better 3-year total cost of ownership value than its gas version? I don't know, $20 a gallon, Russell? It's not just that, it's also driving the technology costs down and what the premium of those vehicles are. But I will tell you this, that you will see $5 a gallon gas this summer. Armin asks, do you know how many amateur racers have an AutoWeek sticker on the side of their car? I'm guessing by your question, Armin, that you're one of them. I don't know how many people have AutoWeek stickers on the sides of their cars, but don't come looking to us for money. Thanks for the love, though. Finally, Colleen and Keith asked whether or not I have a favorite David E. Davis anecdote. I do. And with his passing, I was reminded of it. It was 1984, and it was my first real press trip to Europe. I was a young buck working for AutoWeek on the West Coast. We were going to go see the new Mercedes 190e 2.3 16 valve at the then new Nürburgring. And then join another trip to Peugeot. Well, it happened that David and I became driving partners, and I learned then just how glorious a man he was in his ability to conjure images. He told me about the kind of driving skill it took for Peugeots and the kind of lunacy that it took to own one. He taught me about eau de vie, which is the drink of Europe that tastes like grappa and tastes like crappa sometimes. He taught me about a lot of things, and he taught a lot of people of my generation, both readers and journalists, what it's like to be out there. He was a giant. He was a man who you could love and loathe. He was a gentleman and a gentleman, and we will miss him.
Thanks, Dutch. And we're off to a good start for the week. Have fun, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Thanks for watching today's edition of AutoWeek TV. Be sure to catch all the latest car enthusiast news on AutoWeek.com, in AutoWeek magazine, and in AutoWeek's iPad edition.